Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics. Hey, Dr. J, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? You stepped right on me, RJ.
Yeah, I know. And pretty exciting, our first Norwegian guest on the podcast. And I'm going to let you pronounce her name because I know you've practiced.
I certainly did. Karoline Knotten. I got it right that time. There we go.
Yeah.
Not the American pronunciation, the Norwegian pronunciation. We got it right.
Do you go by Karolina or Karo or?
I usually say Karo.
Okay.
Yeah, Karo. I really like short names, and I don't have one, so then I just make it.
Yeah, make it yourself.
So if and when you have kids, you'll be going for short names then, I guess.
Yes, I think so. I really like when you share people on the track, you want to have like a fast one. So then you just go Karo, and then you go do the whole thing. So then it will be something short, maybe Bob or something.
Perfect. I think
K1
sounds
and
great.
K2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems right to have you on. I mean, we just had Loteli on a few weeks back, and I think she now is our most frequent guest. I think Tobias Torgersen is he's going to tie her shortly. Yeah, so, it only makes sense that we would get you on, I think, because you guys have been friends for a long time now. And she has been mentioning we should try to get you on. So we really appreciate you joining us, and we really appreciate Lotte, if you're listening. We really appreciate you helping us out.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Tobias, our impression of Tobias is that he knows everybody in Norway. Do you know him well?
I do know him well because he lives in Lillehammer, so we see him a lot at the stadium. I actually trained with them also with the Polish teams, the Polish team. So Lotte and I joined in for some shooting competitions earlier this summer. So that was really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So before we even chat about you, then I need to ask, who on the Polish team should we be keeping an eye on this year? Natalia, we know. Anybody else?
Well, we did two mass starts, and it was like on the first one, the oldest ones had to be behind, and then we ended up on the first because we did really well. So I would say Camilla Suk. I think we were the bit on the front there. So we'll say old is cool.
There you go. You're not even old. Stop it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's true. But because I think people usually kind of really love the young talents, and I think that's really cool. But I think like I had two really cool things happen last year, and that was, of course, our Norwegian young talent, Maren Hjelmeset. But I think also the other thing was Suvi Minkinen, because they got both got their first podium, and it's quite age gap between them. So I think that's quite cool.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, both things work. You can be a young talent, but you can also be a stayer and fight for many years and then suddenly get it.
What is your biggest quality that you have because of your age and longer experience?
I think experience. Yeah, I think the experience, maybe a bit more safe, maybe not safe, but kind of like more
stable.
I haven't been the most stable actually.
Okay.
The last 2 years, it's been I can see my level is quite good when I'm feeling good, but I've struggled the last 2 years with not being stable. But I think maybe just the confidence that it will work out, to not give up, because I know it will change.
And is that mostly on shooting, or
I think mostly in total in the skiing, in the shooting, in the overall results? To maybe also focus on what you're doing and not only on the results. Because I think most people can hang up on or kind of like fixate on what the result was the number, if I was 2 or 5. But I think actually last year I got, was it 5th or 6th? And I shot 10 in a sprint. And one time I got 2nd, the other time I got 6th. And it was the same race. I did the same performance on both of them. Yeah. It was just a different result. So to kind of like, it depends a bit what the other people do. And So just focus on your own work and what you're doing, and then just improve, and then
just be the best Karoline Knotten.
Yes.
On the field, right?
Yeah. Just do your job and focus on yourself, and then the more times I do my job properly, the more times I might get a good result. And
Yeah, I think you just
unless
defined
you're
maturity.
the best, if you're Johannes Tingnesbø, or if you're the best ones, you can do a really good job, and you know you're winning. But I think for me, I know that I'm kind of like, I'm not the best, but I can be if I do a really good job, and someone else maybe do a mistake, then I can take it. I've actually used the American movie Miracle on Ice. The famous speech there that they are better than you. They might win 9 out of 10 times, but today is your day. That's kind of my mindset, that today is my day. And I used it a lot more when with Marte and Tiril competing. I was like, okay, they are better than me. I know they are better, but they can have a mistake. I can shoot clean. Maybe I have a chance. Like, again, today is my day. I'll do it. And that's kind of my mindset. And it's not 9 out of 10 anymore. I'm trying to make it a bit more good statistics for myself. But I'm kind of, the mindset is the same.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair to you, you really have, you had more good days, the last couple of seasons, right? I mean, you really have had more of those days where you're getting into the top 10, getting into the top 5. So yeah, I don't think it's 1 out of every 10 anymore for you. I think it's been
that's true.
more frequent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think and definitely I think also this year I'm feeling confident and I'm feeling strong, and of course it's easier to kind of it's easy to say, but you have to follow up with actual performance. But it feels really nice to have the development in training, and then knowing when you start the competition season that I'm not gonna check the first race if I'm better or not than last year. I'm quite confident I'm better. And then I can just race into the season and kind of improve my racing and improve the performances. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to start.
Well, and for better or worse, this summer you have had more control over your training schedule than ever before. So now that it's like this is you and your coaches, like, is there what have you done differently? Kind of how have you focused your training differently this summer to get you to your personal best?
It's just too much to kind of start, because it's a few big things and a few small things.
Great.
Because this is the first year I've never had any commitments that I have to do. I've always loved to plan my training, but I've always had something I have to join and something I have to do. And now it was just like, maybe I want to wait to go to altitude for a month, because I wasn't ready in June. I wanted to wait to July, because then I was ready. And then I also I've seen a pattern of me being quite good before Christmas, and then kind of going really tired the third week. So I was like, I know also I respond really, really well for training, and more volume training and not so much high intensity. So that's a bit why I wanted to go to Livigno at this time, because then now I can focus on the ground training still, and not doing too high intensity too early. So that's one thing, because now I think all of the other teams are finished with their altitude camps. They're back home prepping, and I'm kind of just like trying to relax, trying to train easy and volume as long as I can, and then maybe just picking which trainings, which intensities are important to me. I've picked 3 or 4, 4 different ones I've just repeated and done them over and over again, and then just improved my how I do them, and really kind of focus on what is the goal. Of course, this year the goal is Antolz, the Olympics. And then I've set a date that I really want to do the World Championship in Oslo in 2029. Okay. So then we kind of like, okay, I had a list of everything I wanted to do. But then it's just like, you can do that next year and you can do that the year after. But this year we focus on this technique and this kind of thing and what you can improve for the frontals. But that's kind of like the big planning thing. But then I think more specifically, it's just high quality in the training. It's more efficient because I don't have to wait for anybody. I can just go out and do it. And and if I wake up a bit tired, I can just wait. I can sleep a bit more, wait an hour, and then go out. I'm always sure I'm ready when I go out, and I haven't had to adjust that much this year. But it's also, I don't have to explain or kind of get carried away, because if the team has a important high intensity you want to join, it's really hard to say no if you're looking forward to it, and then maybe I'm not feeling quite well, I have to adjust. Then I can just, this year I can just, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll wait and see if I'm ready. It's the big things in the planning from the start. My coach and I made the plan in April, May, and then we kind of set the whole thing for the whole year. And then I can just relax. I know what's coming. I know what I'm doing. Of course, we still have talks now and again to kind of check where we are at and if you need to change anything. But in general, we have a plan. So if I have a 2-week period, I'm allowed to be tired at the end because I know it's coming a rest week, and it's just always, it's just a nice flow to it. And I just really like it. And I can travel around with my mom. I can choose what I want for dinner and what I want to eat. We can have it relaxed. I can do whatever I want. I can go and relax and go to sleep if I want, or we can just do some movie. It's just really easy to decide what I want to do, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Do you miss the motivation though from when your team is, when you were in the Norwegian team directly? When you know something is coming up with the team, is that or do you not have a problem motivating yourself to?
I think just this year it's been really cool because I have 3 altitude camps. I had a camp with Lotte in Sognefjellet to go skiing in May, or was it June, May? June, May. I was in I had a Sirdal and Torsby and Lillehammer with another friend of mine, Eline. So I've had so many things the whole time with my other friends training.
Yeah.
So that's also what's the good thing about being a bit old. I have so many friends and connections in the biathlon game. All my friends are biathletes almost. So it's just like I've gotten so many invites to go train, and so I think the motivation is there. You can find someone along the way all the time. And the biathlon family is just awesome. Just going for my first altitude in Besançon, the Italian team was there. Lisa Vitozzi was there. There was a Swiss girl there. Of course, Belgium with Lotte. And then I got to know some of the British athletes who were joining the Belgium team. And then Shona Pendry was there, and she lives in Fontremø, where I had my next camp. So then suddenly I just had a new friend who could show me around, and we can train together in Fontremø. So it's just really cool, I think. And then I have friends and people all over, and we can just see each other at the stadium. And how do you want to do something together, or just like say hi and train? So I think it's just really cool.
Yeah. And I think that's actually one thing, as you were talking, being a bit older is also, your body really well, and you know what you respond to really well, and what doesn't work for you, right?
Yeah, and especially in altitude, but also in general. I know that I have a routine. What I do before the camp, what I do the first days at camp, what makes me feel strong. And it's been really working really good this year. After every altitude camp, I just felt really strong. Because I've done my routine. I've done everything the same every time. And of course, not the same, but like the general thing is the same. We've done some done some different things for all of them, but the main thing is the same. And also just like knowing I have to train, eat lunch, and then go to sleep. That's one of my things. If I don't sleep after lunch, I'm wasted in the afternoon, and that's just also something I just have to do. And if I don't manage to actually sleep, I just need to lay in bed 1 hour, close my eyes. Otherwise, I will get a headache for sure at the end of the day. So it's just trying to learn and actually take care of yourself, I guess.
And I guess that's a hard thing for any team, right? To accommodate people that want to be active after lunch, and then others want to lay down. And
yeah,
I'm sure sometimes you're forced into a thing that you're not really want to do, or
just you kind of have to have a bit respect for each other, and it's fine.
For sure.
Yeah, because then maybe just get to know each other well, and it's usually okay. Then we can just meet up later, and we are usually with people all the time. From the winter, at least during the season, you're quite. It's difficult to find some time to be alone between November and March. It's always someone around. So I just have to find some spots to maybe just go for a run, put on some headphones, and then go by myself for a bit. That's usually one of my things. And then maybe just go by myself a bit.
Would you say generally you're the type of person that needs alone time? Or do you see it?
I think there's a name for it. I'm a bit like in between, because I can get loads of energy being around people. But then I come to a point where I just that's enough. And now I have to recharge by myself. But if I'm too long by myself, I feel like, I'm all alone. Then now I need people again. So it's just, it's a bit annoying because it just changes all the time. But I think, at least I know it. I know that, okay, now my limit is come. Now I need to find some people, or now I need to go by myself. And it makes it easier again, knowing yourself and getting older and kind of learning how you react to things.
Absolutely. Well, that was actually going to be one of my questions was, is there anything that you miss about training with the team, on a more regular basis, any of like the team activities, but maybe you sort of answered it, and that you sort of get a little bit of alone time in the summer because you're going to be with them all winter anyway.
Yeah, we are going to be a lot together in the winter, but I do miss just showing up at camp and not having to plan all the routes for running and plan all the things and do everything, kind of just like follow the camp life a little bit, and mostly just the high intensity where everyone starts at the same time, some shooting duels, kind of like everything, you know what's coming, and you know that this day I have to be sharp, because this year I have had it. I have loads of people to train with and kind of fight with, but you have to search for it all the time. But on the team, you just show up and then you get good matching. But yeah, it's a difficult thing because of course it would be nice to have it, but then I think also this year I've seen like already in Besançon with the Italian team, I was just shaking because I hadn't been training so much with people, and it was just the first time I've been shooting with others, and I was just shaking because, this is so fun, this is so cool. And I was just like, what do I do? And then the more I've trained with people, and the more I've kind of more calmed down. But then I've talked to my coaches, and they're like, that's more like World Cup though. Because it doesn't come that often. It does come when you started, but it makes it, it's a bit extra. It's a level up in World Cup. And then I think I've managed to train more like that this year because I've been so excited every time I've had to train with. It's kind of made it more, more like the competitions, how it will be, I think. Yeah.
And who is your coach? Is that somebody you worked with in the past?
Yes, it's Roger Grubben is my main coach. He trained me when I was on the junior team when I was 20, and he has been my coach ever since. So he's been my coach at least 10 years now. Not like the main, like I was on the B team with another coach, and of course on the A team we had other coaches, and I've used them and talked to them and planned with them. But I've always had like Roger as a, not just what you train coach, but more like a life coach, and kind of like double checking a little bit the quality of things.
Like a mentor?
Like a mentor, I think. Yeah, definitely. Because he sees the whole person and not only the athlete, and he kind of makes sure that your life is okay and you're doing a good job there. And then also, just like he knows me full out. So if I don't write in my diary the training in 1 or 2 days, he will say, something is wrong. I don't think you're feeling as good, or maybe something is up. And he can also pick up a few things I write. If I'm like the typical thing, if you say you're fine, you're not fine. But he's just really good at analyzing how I write things, and if I don't write anything, and kind of just knowing me before maybe I understand it myself. So that's the really good thing about having a coach through time, and kind of it keeps the red thread a little bit. Yeah.
And you have your other coach, your mom. She's traveling with you, and I'm assuming she also knows exactly when you're actually fine, or when you're saying you're fine but you're not.
Yes, I think so. But also I think sometimes she gets to see new sides of me also. So that's a bit yeah. Well, I can, because most of the she's seen most of me, all my sides, all my personalities and traits. But I think also sometimes this year I can, if I'm frustrated, I can be frustrated in a shooting, and then maybe how we talk to each other, and then it's just fine after. Because it's just, that's how I work, and I make things more difficult in training than it is usually in a competition. So then I'm usually a bit frustrated, and usually a bit like, she can maybe take it a bit serious, and then I can be like, relax, it's okay. And then just, it's gonna work out. I have to make the mistakes to fix it. And then just learning maybe how we work together and that kind of thing. But yes, I think also sometimes this year I was kind of asked her to relax, and then because she like, I think you're not being totally honest with yourself, and I'm like, relax, and then maybe a few days after, a week after, I'm like, okay, you were right. It did
That's
bother me more than I said. Yes. So it's a really cool thing, I think, that we get to know each other on a different level, because we have trained together before. Like, I started biathlon with my family because my brother started, and then we've always. I think that's what's cool this year, because I started to love biathlon with my family, and we traveled around France and Italy training. We've been to so many places training with the family, and now I'm traveling with my mom again, and kind of like feeling a lot of the same things I did many years ago. So that, I think that's really cool, and
kind of brings back the fun.
It brings back the fun. I think that's definitely something I've done this year. It's been very serious the last years, and I've kind of been a lot in my bubble. But this year I've had so much more fun, and kind of like, I want to enjoy the training and enjoy the days. And yeah, we made some choices on the camps also, that we want to live in the center so we can go for dinner and kind of like get a break also during a camp, and not like when you're at the national team camp, you have maybe your own chef and you're in an apartment and you kind of do the whole routine for 3 weeks. But I've been able to kind of go, I want to have, maybe we go to that restaurant or that restaurant today, and we usually have an apartment also, so we can just make food ourselves. So then it's just really relaxed, and I can train really proper, but I can just also be quite relaxed, and that's how I started with this, and that's why I fell in love with it. So I'm back to my roots, I would say.
Oh, that's great. And is your mom a biathlete as well? Like,
no, but I think both my mom and my dad were quite active, so they have done their own sports in a way, but they they've definitely been active. They when we were children, my brother and I, they put us on bikes, and then because they wanted to go running. And then when we were old enough to kind of keep up running, we could also drop the bikes and go running with them. So I think just we've gone loads of training together, and yeah.
How old was that when you were able to keep up running?
What we would say, maybe like 7, maybe 7, 8.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and how old were you when your parents couldn't keep up with you anymore?
Well, that's not being rude to my mom. I was quite good early, but then with my dad, it's been not many years ago. I could drop him actually. I could drop him, like if it was short and fast, I can drop him. But he's really strong on the bike, and I think that was maybe 2 years ago. Actually, I was able to. He was because he's quite fit and he's really good on bikes. And the longer it is, the stronger he is. So when I kind of like, of course, I've also been mouthing off a little bit, and because he's been always like, "You're not tired until you're." Well, you're not tired. You can manage so much more than you think. And then everything he's ever said to me, I'll just take it back to him and kind of like, and then kind of going 20 meters in front, looking back and be like with the arms, like, come on. So I've had a lot of fun with him, but I think I can drop him on skis and I can drop him running, and then the day I can drop him on the bike, then I think that was a hard day for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well,
but yeah, it's been really cool.
Considering you are a world-class athlete, congratulations to him for keeping up with you as long as he did. So, way to go, Dad. You did it.
Yeah, I will mention that to him. I think, yeah, definitely. Well, yeah.
So it made me think of Anders Auckland.
Yeah, well, I think Anders Auckland is he's on a different level, but
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's not so many people that can do that.
Yeah, well, but yeah, definitely he's keeping up, and it's really cool to have a family. Like we can do, like I said, also my brother is 2 years older than me, and for me to just train when I was little, I always trained with the boys, and usually a couple years older, and just trying to keep up. That was how I trained mostly, and then for me, just trying to keep up with my brother was kind of my goal and my motivation. So. Yeah, I do owe a lot to him actually for keeping my strength up quite early.
See, that always makes me think where you say I was training with the boys, but I think at that age you're just training with other kids, right?
Yeah.
This whole boys, girls, or whatever. It's just whoever shows up you train with, and sometimes I think we're taking it a little bit too serious. Where either separating, or I think the Swedish team, they always have a bit of philosophy to do everything together, and
yeah.
It's unfortunate that there's such an emphasis on it.
Yeah, I think that because I think it's also I don't like any kind of label on things when you're a kid, because there's been also this fight of being not professional, but kind of like it's supposed to be fun when you're a kid, but every kid has a different opinion of what fun is. I hated when they wanted to have us play games skiing. I wanted to ski. I didn't want to play hide and seek ski or whatever it was. I wanted to ski and I wanted to go train hard. So I thought it was really boring when we had to do the games. But that's what other kids kind of love to do. So it's just like, I think you should be allowed to do what you think is fun, because my parents never pushed me to be serious or be professional training at a young age. That was my goal. That was what I wanted. And I kind of fought with them to let me go out training in the afternoon, and I woke up early before school to kind of run on the treadmill for an hour just because I wanted to. And you have, of course, many opinions and many different athletes, like Jakob Ingebrigtsen, the runner. Of course, that whole family was been pushed quite hard, but they have also good results. And I think it's a bit difficult to say, because you can go to kind of focus on one sport quite early, but you can also do many things. And I think what was working really well in my family was I've done football, I've done handball, I've did a bit of swimming. I was allowed to try different things, and then when I found biathlon, that was like, this is my thing, and that's what I want to do. And when I was 12, I wanted to quit everything and just do biathlon. But then I had tried different things. It wasn't just like, do this. It was just like, yeah, but I've tried, and this is what I would like to do. So, and then you have Synnøve Solemdal. She was she was maybe 8 years older than me, but we started biathlon the same time, which I think is quite cool because she has loads of good results in biathlon and kind of victories and Geilo and kind of world championships. She was a relay champion, and and she was awesome. But I started early, she started late, which is both things work. It's just like, so that's my point. It's not a rule you have to follow. This is how to do it. But you have to be open to anything and be open that people are different. That was my main philosophy, I think.
Well, I love your point about that fun for kids is different. That when you're a 10 or 12-year-old who wants to get up at 6 to run on a treadmill, I can totally see as a parent that they're like, oh, you're really taking this a bit too serious. You should have more fun. But like you said, that kid could be like wanting to throw everything they have in it, and that's fun for them, right? So
yeah. And I think that's a really big discussion in Norway at the moment. That it has to be fun. You can't have parents pushing their kids. But then it's like, but what if the kids are pushing? What if it's the kid that wants to do this, and that's what they think is fun? And of course, I don't think it's very good if a child is crying and the parent is standing over them, kind of like, go on. That's not fun. That's not a good thing, but that's a different thing again. So just listening to each other and kind of talking things out, and that's mostly open communication about things is usually a good thing.
So I just want you to know how crazy this sounds to me that you were 12 when you wanted to go all in on biathlon, because like here in the United States, like if you have a 12-year-old who even knows what biathlon is, like they're kind of a unicorn, like they're this crazy thing. So it is like, it's such a different development. I mean, when you're 12, like how many other kids your age are into biathlon?
I would say quite many at 12. Well, you're allowed to start or I was allowed to start early because I was a big child, and they thought I could handle it. So I started when I was 7. Most people start at 10. But I think it's quite good. At least I was I've done biathlon in 3 places in Norway. So, and all of them have been quite good. It was the west in Stavanger, north in Bardufoss, and then in Lillehammer, where you have quite good clubs. There's been a lot of members, and in Stavanger it was just a couple of families in the beginning, I think. That we were just having fun, and mom and dad were kind of joining in as coaches. So people were it was just really cool. And I think that was just a way, and some people maybe were there to more have fun and try and weren't that into the pushing. But then some people did like that. And then, people are different, but it was I think the clubs were big enough that it was allowed to be both parts in a way. But I think, but also biathlon is maybe a bit bigger in Norway than it is in the States.
Oh my gosh.
At least in the younger age.
Well, that's the other question I was going to ask too, was you mentioned that you were here for a couple of years when you were younger. And like when you were here, were you doing any skiing? Like how did you keep up with it?
Well, I turned the first time I was there, we were in Atlanta, Georgia, and then I was 3. So I didn't do much skiing.
Not much.
No.
But as a Norwegian, you probably had skis already, right?
Well, we did do some skiing, but I did ski when I was, as soon as I started, I was able to stand. They put skis on my feet.
Oh my gosh.
But what was it? But yeah, we were in Kansas when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could cross over to Colorado and we had Christmas there skiing. But I did soccer and swimming that year. And then we just did skiing when it was possible. But it did snow this much, like a 10 centimeter at the school. And then we had a home day because, of course, there's no schooling if it's snow, which is crazy to me. Because, of course, it can be a blizzard in Norway and you still have to go to school. But then it was like it snowed 10 centimeters and the schools were shut down. And then we went skiing on the football fields.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, it was really cool.
I came to the conclusion at some point that Calgary, the city I live in, has more snow removal trucks than the whole of Netherlands, where I grew up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the same there. If it snows for like 2 centimeters, and people are like, "Oh, I should probably stay home," because
yeah. Well, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. But I think it's really cool to then see how much bigger biathlon also has, or cross-country skiing and biathlon has been in America, though. Because I think, of course, you have Jessica Diggins and you have, what was it? You have,
Kickin Randall?
Of course you have Campbell, but you have like Kickin Randall, but you also have what's it called? The male world champion biathlete. Many years ago.
Lowell.
Yes, Lowell Bailey. And there was another guy also. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's really cool how much they've meant out, I would say, because that's really
and
cool.
Susan, right? Susan Dunkley.
And Claire Egan. So you have loads of athletes. Yeah. So that's really cool, I think. So I think we're gonna, it will build and get stronger.
Yeah.
I will say that like it has been fun as a Tim Burke is the other one.
Yes,
but
Tim Burke,
It's been fun as an American just to see the excitement that Campbell has brought. I shared there's a story that broke into like the national news, and it's like biathlon in the national news in the United States is you never hear about it. So we've got this, this crazy 23-year-old Kiwi American winning medals, and he's like the perfect character to make people get interested in the sport. So I'm hopeful that we'll get some more excitement over here.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure, there's still people.
Yeah, because you have, I think the Europeans, maybe he has mentioned it. You have the European really do things perfectly, focus on the sport, then you have also, you need some characters like Campbell, right? To have like he's just having fun. You can see him just skiing around here, and in World Cup also, he's just like always chatting and always smiling and just making everyone else feel more comfortable. So I think it's really cool to have those people at the stadiums.
That's what I actually really enjoyed about the Bö brothers the last couple seasons, that it seemed to be they had a lot more fun. And I mean, it's easy to have fun when you win 6 gold medals at a world championship.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were able to really enjoy at least the last full season.
Yeah, I would say I really enjoyed also just being with them those years, and kind of from the beginning, actually, because they've always been, I think those two together is the coolest thing, because they challenge each other and they kind of have that internal fight, and it just makes it so much cooler to observe, and kind of like seeing how happy they can be for each other, and that also their mindset. And I've learned so much from them, just being, you can have a bad day, but you're still a good athlete. You just have to trust yourself and kind of believe in yourself, and it's just like a bit more confidence. That's my biggest thing for them, that I can do a bad race, but that was a bad day. I'm still good. That's most of the things. And then just for them also kind of recognizing, I think I've used this story before, but I think it was in Östersund or something. Johannes, he won his race, and I was 24 or 34 or something. And I went into the room and he was like, "Congratulations." And I'm like, "What? You won." I was 24. And he was like, "Yeah, but it was your PB. You had a PB today." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true." And then I was, okay, I can be happy with 24. That's okay. So that, I think that they're awesome. Really good at seeing people and kind of learning to see your own development. And that's really cool for coming from one of the world's best through time, to see that personal improvement is actually priority one.
When you were getting into biathlon, who was was it Livigno Poiré who was really good at the time, or?
Linda Kjørum, which is now Linda Grubben, which is really funny because she is the wife of my coach.
Okay.
I remember because she was also one of the local stars, because we were kind of in the same area. So when I was a kid competing at 12-year-old, she could hand out prizes for us as kids as one of the national big stars. Awesome. And then it was just really cool for me. I was at camp with my coach and then having dinner with them and kind of being like, kind of handing out a few things to the kids. And I'm like, this is kind of full circle for me in a way. Because she was really one of those I was looking up to. So Linda Kjørum, now Grubben, of course, Livigno Poiré, Tora Berger. Mm-hmm. The good thing in Norway, you have quite many to look up to.
Yeah.
I think Synnøve Solomdal was one big one for me. And then of course you have Marte and Tiril at the time also. They came a bit later, but still we've had loads of strong women in biathlon, which is really cool to kind of follow.
And would Norwegian kids typically be fan of Norwegian athletes, or was there other nations' athletes that you really looked up to? Or
I think, I did. Of course, I have a few other ones, but I think maybe it was more for me to kind of look at who resembles me. That's something that was good to see with Linda Grubben, that she was a taller athlete. And I think that's also something I looked at and kind of been really cool with, just like Denise Herman in the previous years, to see that she skis in a different style. She's also a head taller than most of the others. So kind of just finding people who, she has a bit thicker legs in a way, and she can still ski really fast in altitude. Because I think that was a really big thing for me, that's looking at the body types in a way as a young athlete, always being a head taller or a bit heavier, and then kind of seeing I can actually ski fast still. I have people, I can see them ski really fast. I don't have to be put into a box. I can actually be myself and kind of look at myself as a strong athlete and not as a heavy one. And I think that's been really important to me, to find kind of like, of course you have many different types, and I think that's also cool with biathlon. When you see people at the podiums, people don't look the same, which is really cool. So that I think we can reach out to more people, meet, and kind of course with personality, but also kind of just for looks, in a way that there's so many different ways. And biathlon is just, you can be a great skier, you can be a great shooter. That's the easy divide. But you can also be, in some arenas, you're really good, you're really strong in Ruhpolding, but you're maybe struggling in Oberhof, or you're good in altitude, and you have different arenas that you're good at. And usually that's really cool to see that it's possible, I would say.
Yeah, and even like it made me think of the picture at Loop 1 with Lisa Vitozzi and Anna Magnussen.
Yeah.
She's fair. But when I saw you in Camor, I had to take my first reaction was, she looks just like Karoline Knotten, because I didn't realize how tall you were.
Yeah. Well, you've seen it in mass starts or the first leg in a relay. It's just really fun sometimes. You kind of and then it's just.
It's gotta be nice if you're in a pack. You can sort of see over top of everybody and just sort of scan around and see what's going on.
Yeah.
When you get to the shooting range, some of my favorite pictures are actually from the shooting range, because you'll see like you standing next to like Baiba, who I think comes up to your belly button. And so you get these great. But are you even aware when you get to the shooting range that the person next to me is quite short, or like if if Maya Clutens is right there and she is like, your height, so are you aware that?
Well, I think maybe more if it's like a really windy one, and then you kind of want to go behind. I would like to go behind Maya if it's if it's really windy. I don't think Bye-Bye Anna Magnusson will help me that much.
No.
So,
nope.
but it's not something you think most a lot about when you're skiing or shooting. It's
a
just,
great visual though.
It's a cool photo. But yeah, I think it's just something you can think about after, I think.
Would actually love to see, and I'm not to say that I don't want you to win, but Anna Magnusson on the first or like on gold and you on silver, just to see that you're probably going to be the same height.
Yeah, I do. I have from younger Norwegian Cup and stuff, a lot of those photos. Me on the third leg, or maybe not on the podium, and then kind of being the same as the one on the first one. Yeah. I prefer the other way, like me on the first and then her on third and seeing the gap. That would be more cool.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you quickly invite them over to the
top. Yes, come over here.
No, but I totally agree. Like I always feel with things like basketball and volleyball, as much as I like the sports, it's clear that, I think there was Muggsy Bogues at some point who was 5'8", and I'm dating myself because it was like 25 years ago. But now if you're an average height, there's just no place for you in basketball, I would say, or volleyball. And I think, like you said, in biathlon, I don't know, there's no reason why anybody should be feeling that they can't fit in. Or
on the men's side, you've got like Vetle, who is built like a tank. And then you've got Eric Perrault, who is like, I don't know, I think he weighs
not
nothing.
Maybe half or less. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And these guys are both incredible.
Yeah. And I think, of course, like when you mention it, like Vetle has also been one of, I remember actually, I won the Norwegian Cup at 17, and then he was 3 years older. So we were kind of invited in to do this like prize ceremony thing. And then Ole Einar and Tora Berge were kind of giving out prizes. And I felt so stupid because I was I was a lot taller than them. And I was kind of like crouching down a little bit. And then it was Vetle's turn to go up, and he just took them in between his arms and kind of like... And he just really owned it. He was just like, "Yep, I'm a big guy. No problem here." And then so that's meant a lot to me, actually. Kind of just like, okay, I'm fine as who I am. And I've also looked a lot up to Vetle and kind of seeing that he can be quite strong, and it's really cool to see him when he's in power, strong, and just pushing really fast. So it's cool. Like you have biathlon, it has so many components you can work at and be good at. And if you're maybe you're lacking in something, but then you can be really strong in something else, and then the total result is fine. And I say it now also, if I have good glide down, if I can kind of ski past you in a downhill and then take it, then it's like, but I'm heavier, yes, but you didn't drop me in the uphill, so sorry.
Yeah,
then
totally.
I was better in the uphill, so that's how it works. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right? Like everybody's got something they're fighting against.
Yeah. So it's just, you have to just work on yourself and kind of finding the strengths a little bit. And then my coach has always said, like, you're a top, but imagine when you're strong enough and you're kind of in balance enough to have control in your body and how far you can reach in like easy glide flats. And then you have that much potential to go really fast. So that's also always been something I've been fighting for, to be like, yes, I will fight for that, because it's been a funny thing. In Hochfilzen, I lost more time in the flats than I did in the uphill, which was annoying because I was just fighting all I could in the uphills to keep up, and then I was like not using my strength on the flats. So it's just it was a bit thing to kind of work at.
Do you have a favorite venue? A favorite course? I was asked, do you have a favorite track?
I do like Hochfilzen. It's quite cool. Kind of want to say Novo Mesto just because of the audience and how loud they can be. and then they're so tight into you in the uphill or in the stadium. So I think that's just you even if it's dark, and we've always competed there at night where it's really dark, but it's just so loud and the atmosphere is awesome. But I've started to like many of them actually. So it's just I used to hate Oberhof, and then suddenly I did well in Oberhof, and then I was like, okay, that's cool. And then it was the same in Antholz. I was just, say if I was a minute behind in Ruhpolding, I can be 3 minutes behind in Antholz because I was really bad in altitude. But then I could suddenly have a top 6 in Antholz, and I was like, I can actually ski full speed in Antholz. It's not like I have to break on the last loop anymore. I can actually push quite well. So it's really cool. I think with those, especially with those two, that I really struggled for a few years, and then I kind of started to like them a bit more. And I think that's cool because, I wouldn't say that I'm a talent in any way, but I have a talent for training, so it hasn't come easy. But I know how to improve, and I think it's cool to see. Again, what I started with, you have some people, young talents, performing well early, but then you also if you're not a young talent, you can actually work hard and get results, and then actually improve. So I think that's also why maybe I like Oberhof and Antholz, because it shows you can actually improve in something you're bad at.
It was your challenge. You conquered it.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you said you're not a talent in something. I would say that you might not be the fastest skier, but you're really fast. You might not be the best shooter, but you're really good. So I think you put you're really good in both of those. You're going to have some pretty good results.
Yeah, but I think I meant more like maybe that it hasn't come easy. I have always got like the long way round. It's not like my first race in altitude. I was like, it's almost the same as somewhere else. It's just like, okay, then I'm 3 minutes slower. Cool. So it's just, it's come a bit hard, but and then good thing for me, I started early, so I have actually managed to work myself up quite well. But
plenty of time.
There's more to come.
Well, and again, it's like getting comfortable with yourself and with your body.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Teresa Johaug was just coming onto the World Cup, and she looked so different, right? Because, I mean, Mara Bjørgen wasn't super tall, I think, but she was very muscular.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the athletes at the time in cross-country skiing were pretty tall. And then there comes Teresa Johaug, who's what?
Quite small.
I don't know, 160 or 1.60 m or something. And she seemed to almost have a different technique, like a way higher tempo. And it just worked. And I think for even, tall people or whoever, whatever the body type, it kind of opened eyes that, not everybody has to ski exactly the same, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's the cool thing. You have so many different ones. And I think Marit Bjørgen and Teresa are really good examples because they can both be good at. Yeah, Marit Bjørgen is a more a sprinter, or was a bit more sprinter. But they can do in the long distance races, it can be, say, equal, and then just ski totally different. So I think that's really cool, again, to see just how different people can do things.
So it kind of brings me back to when you were talking about the different ski clubs. I've been kind of browsing around on the Norwegian Biathlon website, and it almost feels like there's this structure that every club has to follow with certain guidelines where kids need to go at a certain age. Is there ever discussion that maybe is going a little bit too far to, like you said, bucketing kids at a certain age right away? And
I'm not really sure. I felt always I could just go. Well, I wasn't really set in a box. I kind of always.
No, I mean, it sounded like from when you were a kid getting into biathlon, it was kind of, wherever you landed, you just kind of followed the rules they had. But it seems now, when you look at the website now, it seems like there's some very strong, I guess, guidelines that every club needs to follow, even at a very young age, for kids that are starting now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like this. Okay. I think it's I'm not sure. I've joined in the Lillehammer club, Livigno, a bit now, and kind of like been a bit with the kids. And I would say it seems like they are quite relaxed, and kind of just, but they might follow, like you say, but they are the ones I've been seeing this last years are quite young. But yeah, maybe when you mean like maybe 13 and older.
Yeah, we have a similar discussion in Canada with kids in hockey.
Yeah.
Younger and younger, they always have to go in like into this sort of you're the performance stream or the recreational stream. And I always feel like it's so young. Like there's people that, maybe they're like 18 before they really find themselves and what they're good at and what works for them. And other kids at 14 or 13 or,
Yeah, I think it's difficult to say because I've talked to a few of them, and I think a couple of the ones I've met are quite serious and they're quite. But I think also it maybe looks on paper maybe more like a guideline, in at least how I've interpreted how it is. That it's more like a guideline, and this is a suggestion of how you can do it. And then you have the people who kind of do other sports on the sides. So it's yes, you can do this at biathlon and kind of like do these exercises and take these steps and train this much. But then people are doing other things on the side, so it kind of like sometimes they maybe follow the guidelines, and then sometimes they just divert. And then you have other people at the end, on the other end, kind of like fighting a bit those, maybe doing a bit extra and doing a bit more, and kind of like don't like to follow those guidelines because they're too easy. And so I think I'm hoping for my country's part, it's more like a guideline and not like a rule that you have to follow this. That's at least how I've seen it.
And do you like, is there a lot of pressure on kids, like in the sense of there's so much potential and quality in Norway with biathletes that it's almost like you have to start early and focus on biathlon strictly if you even want to make it to the top? Because if you do a different sport for a couple of years, you're so far behind that you.
Yeah.
Or is it?
I don't think so, actually, because I think you have a couple examples of people changing quite late. I had actually a couple of. I went to this sports school where you're between 17 and 19. And then actually a couple of them started cross country, but they ended up as cyclists.
Okay.
So they just changed during that year, and that's quite late. So, and one of them is actually now on a professional high performance cycling team. They made it Uno X. So he started he was a cross country skier at 17, and now he's a professional cyclist. So I think you have those examples, and you have people kind of, especially in cross country now. Also, there was one guy last year. He won the junior world championships, and now he's changed also to running, or it's cycling or something else. He just changed his sport again. So I think it's just, as long as you're doing a endurance sport, it doesn't really matter which one, because you have the engine, you have all of the training and structure, and then you can just change. And even you had Helene Fossesholm, who sadly retired this year, but she did mountain biking and cross country skiing, and kind of like she was on high level performing almost World Cup, and then just like, I love to ride mountain bikes, which is really cool. So I think it's really important we have kind of profiles like them kind of changing like this, because then it shows that it's possible, and you don't have to choose early. But then it is a discussion in Norway at the moment. Parents, people are actually trying quite hard now to not allow too many skis per athlete. You're not allowed to do all of the professionalism too early.
Right.
You can't be 13 and have a pool full of skis. I think now 15, 16, you have 2 pairs you kind of have to enter, and that's what you compete with the whole season. So yeah, we're actively trying not to make it too professional too early. But of course, I think you'll always manage to make it happen. And yeah, but I think it's just really important that we kind of show that, yeah, again, everything is possible, and it's not like choose one way to do things and just have fun with it, and then yeah, people can change their minds.
I'm sorry for digging into this more, but I'm kind of interested to know, is Fossesholm retiring because of injury, or is she just kind of, because there's a lot of pressure on her when she was really young, right? To being the new superstar.
She was, yeah, that was definite. I think it was just more loss of motivation. Not that I haven't talked to her, but that's right. What I saw in the media, and I think it was lack of motivation, which is, I guess it happens. You've seen it a couple of times with other people also, but she was so strong in the summer races this year, so it was a bit like shock for many people, I think. Because I really believed in her, but I think she will be happy either way. She made a grown-up choice.
Sure, yeah. And is she like that? Mountain biking is her sport now, or cycling?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I read, it was she was not skiing anymore professional, but I'm guessing how for me, like, she's one of the people that gives energy for other people. You know, you can see her so happy when she's doing things, and I hope it's obviously genuine, and that she just, that is not something she's put on, but she just looks so happy when she's racing and training, and I would definitely think even if she's not competing professional, I think she will be an active girl. So.
Well, Karo, we've had you for a little over an hour now, so we should probably let you get back to your evening. We honestly, I could probably go for the rest of the night, so I really appreciate your time.
Can I have two more questions?
I don't know. I've got one other thing I wanted to ask you too. So we'll get into our finishing questions here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Being so popular biathlon in Norway, how much of a superstar are you in the sense of when you're walking around, do people recognize you everywhere, ask for photographs, or not too bad?
I think maybe it's a culture thing, and also I'm not that big in Norway. I can feel it lot more if I'm in Germany, actually. They are really, it's different. I think Norway people might be like, "Ooh, that's cool," and I have had people come up to me at the airport or at the store and kind of like, "Ooh, God, maybe you have an autograph or something," but it doesn't really happen at home. But yeah, it's at home I can go quite easy. Maybe someone recognizes you, but people are also, I think, more shy and kind of like, yeah, that's her, and then maybe don't care. But in Germany, people will come up to you and they will definitely let you know that they know who you are. And I had a really fun one this year because it's not something I'm used to. It's really new to me, but I was in Fontremö for training camp, and I was traveling home, and this woman from the US actually saw me I was really sweaty and kind of carrying my stuff, and it wasn't room on the train taking us between the terminals. So I was just really warm, really carrying all my stuff, and then it wasn't room on the bus, and this woman just like, "You're Karo," and I'm like, "Yeah, yes." And she's, "Can I have a photo?" And she's, "I'm from America. Really cool to see you." And then I was just standing, holding my skis up and kind of face out of the bus, which I saw. This is in Barcelona airport, and it's just like, that was so awkward to me.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
So I would say I've had a couple of Americans, but I would think the Germans are maybe the most. They will come up to you, but Norway.
I guess you also drew a little bit more attention in Germany.
Yeah. Germans love biathlon, I think, even more than any other country.
They're nuts.
No, because you were dating Philip.
Yes,
that probably put you a bit more in the spotlight for the Germans.
Yeah, but yeah.
My last question, what was your experience of Canmore? Because obviously you don't go there every year, but is that something you would love to do more often, or?
Yeah, I've only been there once actually, and I thought it was really cool. I think just also how we lived the whole World Cup thing, that we were just everyone on the same place because it was so big, and it kind of, you can centralize the athletes in one hotel almost, which was really cool. And then just the town, they did, what was the beer called? They said like there was a local beer that was kind of like people, going. There was a statue of a bear in this town.
Oh no, there's bears.
Yeah, there's
like
loads of
generally,
bears.
yeah.
But they said like there was like a king bear. Maybe this is just like a ghost story or
That's
something.
a tourist thing.
That's a tourist thing. Okay.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, but I did love, I think the track, or the competition track was cool. It was really fun to race, but then also kind of just training in the previous Olympic cross country track, which was insane. Those are some of the most hard uphills I've seen. It was just up and down, the whole thing. So I really liked it there. It was really cool. And I did like the people also just being so friendly and kind of cheering you on. So you definitely want to come back to Canmore.
Any tips for the range?
RJ saying, welcome to my Monday evening. So it's up and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ever in town, please come out on Monday evening, because that's when I shoot with a group called Fast and Fossil for obvious reasons. We're not fast, but we're definitely all fossil. But
that's a very cool name, Fast and Fossil. I will mention that to my dad actually.
Okay.
Fast and Fossil.
You can always use more members, even from Norway.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I did like those mountains.
I just wanted to get your real quick impressions of Loop 1, because next time we chat, it's going to be long in our rearview mirror. It was kind of a cool thing to watch for us, but you as an athlete competing, what'd you think?
It was a different thing. I think I really liked that you can have the prologue or kind of like the quarterfinals. I think that was a bit fun because you get to go twice, and you kind of get the experience and kind of and just the whole weekend. Actually, I was there the day before and just seeing the Pata races and kind of just the atmosphere and the juniors were going. It was just really cool, and you have all the people there, and kind of like the city is quite nice. But then when you then come to the race, the crowd is so close, which is really cool. And then just shooting out on the water was a bit weird because it was a bit of a gap between each mat. So on the zeroing, I could just feel my ski kind of dip down a bit because I wasn't in the box properly.
Oh man.
But of course, I do think it was, and then we started in the BMW Welt, kind of just sitting there watching, and we didn't really warm up or anything, just sitting there and kind of waiting to start, which was different. I did feel strong on the last loop. I'm a diesel engine. I need to warm up. So that was room for improvement for my sake. Maybe I should just run around the cars next time.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I think that would be at least a spectacle for the people watching. It is, but I think it's fast and it's intense, which is cool because you really get the kind of sense that you have to calm down on the shooting, and it's a really just fun race, I would say, because it's obviously the track is a bit narrow. It's not easy to kind of pass on the skis. So you do most of the work at the shooting range, and you kind of have to follow, or you do your job properly. I had a crash in the penalty loop, which was also not ideal. So it's a bit tight. It's really fast and it's tight. So it kind of like you can't make mistakes, and you kind of have to be a step ahead. So, but definitely I would do it again. I think it was awesome, and it was it's definitely the way to go. But yeah, it was really cool. But yeah.
Any quick thought on the targets that they used?
Yeah, they were a bit slow turning down, because I talked a bit lot about this actually, because you almost felt like, did I miss now? I think that was a good shot, but no, I shot clean, and then it just kind of like for each. But I think that was a good thing for me, because one thing I've been working on with my coach is kind of like see through the shot. And kind of wait a bit after. So then it forced me to wait a bit after the shot to kind of see it go down. So it was a good thing, but it's a bit annoying because it kind of slowed down your rhythm a little bit to kind of like.
It's a new system they're testing, and it's not mechanical anymore. It just has sort of a foam almost that you shoot in that tracks where it is, and then if it's a hit, it closes the door mechanically.
Yeah.
But
it was a bit slow. It wasn't my favorite thing, but I did see that feedback. You could kind of see you could see the shots.
The hits, right?
And that's a bit cool to kind of like, ooh, that was a close one, and then kind of like, But
it was very cool watching it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could ask you questions for another hour at least, but we'll let you go. We really appreciate your time, and also thanks to your mom for being patient there.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I had a great time. It was really fun to chat with you also.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.